Hi everybody, Father Bill Holtzinger here, and this is your Friday Reflection. Well, I have a couple things I want to just kind of update you on. One is, first of all, personnel. In our parish offices, we have some people shifting and moving on. First will be Charlie Knapp, our beloved food coordinator, who's done a great job kind of reconstituting some things and just giving it let's say a Charlie touch. You know, he used to be in the military and he knows how to do systems and organize things, and he's just got his way. If you've not met him, or if you have met him, I should say, you know what I'm talking about. So he's going to be missed. I believe that's ending in a few more weeks. But also, so is our time with Father Anthony Wong Fan, our parochial vicar. He's a friend and a colleague, a priest friend, good priest, and we're going to miss him. I know I will, and I know you will as well. And so I want to just send these two gentlemen to prayer. Father Anthony will be going to Our Lady of the Lake in Lake Oswego with Father John Kearns, my mentor early on in my time as a priest and as a college student and as a seminarian. He was even the vocation director and supervisor for me in what they call a pastoral year. So from the time he was ordained a deacon till now, I've known him. And Father Anthony is going into a great place. I think he'll really enjoy being at Our Lady of the Lake. So that's the first thing. Personnel changes. Of course, there's some in the school. I won't get into those details. That's something for Dr. Irwin to talk about because they're detailed and are not yet put together. But again, there's little movements here and there going on. And some of that, some folks are moving on and other ones are coming in. And anyway, it's more complicated than at the parish level. So, I'll leave it up to her. But something else that's coming up is vacation. It's going to be a summertime. It's actually summer, technically, I think in a few more weeks, technically. But as far as school is out, well, let's say this Friday, if you watch this on Friday, it's very likely it's not live, so I'm probably at the church, and this is pre-recorded on a Wednesday, but I'll be at church for the graduation of our 8th graders. The next week, we have then a few days of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with the rest of the school, and then they're out for vacation. Which brings me to a question I like to ask every year of myself and of you as well, and parishioners here locally and other places, and that is, what are you doing to find a vacation? What are you doing to recreate or recreate? See, this is what vacation is for. It's like not a mini Sabbath, but a full-blown Sabbath that's beyond even what a normal Sabbath would be. God created the world, and he wanted us to also have a day of rest. Rest in the Lord, and a rest for our bodies, rest for our ability to be the best versions of ourselves in God's image. And so that's what a vacation is supposed to be. So are you planning a vacation? And if you are you going somewhere? Because sometimes vacations might be staycations. They're local, but maybe they go out on kind of day excursions. Those are a little less expensive. And maybe there's some places you've wanted to see. Or are you going somewhere? Are you going to another country? Are you going to another state in the United States? What are you going to do? Are you going to fly somewhere? Are you going to drive somewhere? How are you going to get there when you do that? And no matter how you're doing it, I want to ask you and encourage you this one thing, and that is to take your faith with you. It's not a vacation of our faith or from our faith, but it's a vacation from the workaday, everyday things that we do that, maybe can get tiresome or can pull us down. And that's why we need days to recreate. That's what we call it, recreation. And with that recreation, we don't just do it on our own, but take God with you so that you can still be that joyful self and evangelize people around. You might find you meet new friends who are also Christians, but the world is just in great need of having Christ present everywhere. If it's on the beach, or if it's in the forest, if it's in a desert, if you're at a casino, if you're, at a sports game, whatever it might be, God needs us and wants us to be his people, even in the parking lot. And I mentioned that last homily about how we can encounter God, but also where we are being called to be evangelizing or sharing the joy of our Pentecostal, or I should say Pentecost, gifts of the Spirit. I think Deacon Brett's going to be touching a little bit on this next weekend, but I want to encourage you to just not keep it to yourself. Our faith is not intended to be just a solo personal faith that we don't share. Jesus didn't do that. None of the apostles did that, nor did the disciples do that. And that may be kind of shaky for you, right? Being a little afraid. But hey, you know what? Maybe while you're away, you might have a little bit more of let's say, a courage to try that and ask somebody a question maybe about faith, and maybe they seem to be a person of faith, and just inquire, do you practice a faith of any kind? It's not a bad thing. It's kind of like, do you have a favorite sport? Do you have a favorite color? I mean, those are easy questions we ask, but it's kind of like faith and politics we don't usually ask about. But this could be a safe one because we want to encourage people in their faith in God. Ideally, we also want to share with them who God is. That is Jesus Christ, who came and was incarnate and suffered and died for our sins. And if you meet somebody who's a Christian as well, a Catholic Christian specifically, all the more joy and wealth you can have. And what I think is amazing is that I just talked to a couple today. I was in a meeting with a young couple who are going on a vacation, and it kind of dawned on them, like, they're kind of not going to be around this weekend. Oh, that's right. We need to figure out where to go to church. Like, that's right. So make your plans around church. There's actually websites you can go, I think like masstimes.org, I think it is. If not, I'll put the URL up here. But masstimes.org is a way to then look ahead to where you're going and make sure that you get to Mass on Sunday or other days of the week. Because what better way to ground yourself each day, if you're on a vacation, with God's presence than the Eucharist or Mass, or even go to confession. This might be your chance because you didn't want to go to see me or a priest you know. You go to a priest you don't know. But regardless, that's another way to take God with you, to make sure. And then when you go, if you go to another church, just take notes of what you're seeing. Notice when they stand and sit and how they respond, what kind of music they have, how long their homilies are, things like that. And then that might give you some sensibility of like, oh, what it is to like be at Holy Trinity in compared to, because Holy Trinity is not the whole church. It's a local parish that is part of the bigger church of the Archdiocese of Portland. And we kind of have our culture, as every parish has its culture. And when you move to a location like to the south or the East Coast or wherever it might be, what is the church like? So I want to just make you aware of this and encourage you as you go on a vacation this summer. I myself will be heading to Prineville Reservoir, which I could love to do just for a few days, and ultimately with a destination of the Oregon Star Party, where I'm able to gaze and do some great astronomy with my telescope and camera and stuff like that, and meet some good friends that I see once a year. And I'll just relax. It's in the high desert area in the Ochoco Mountains, in the middle of nowhere, pretty much like dead center of Oregon, where there are great dark skies. That's what I'll be doing when I go on vacation. And I hope you find something that's going to help you be recreated and recreate. I know for me, looking at the stars and seeing the amazing things that are above us, that are beyond our vision without technology, it just blows my mind. This weekend, as I mentioned earlier, Deacon Brett is offering the homily. And of course, Father Anthony and I will be doing the masses. So I'll see you this weekend, and God bless you. Bye-bye.